Yo, what's up YouTube family? It's your boy Dread and I'm finally back with another YouTube video for Ireland Auto Works. Currently leaving work right now, and I don't know if you guys know, it's been a minute since I posted up a video. Just been like super busy trying to get a lot of things done and taken care of. Currently, like I said, I'm just leaving work, so I'm in my VW uniform, and then, you know, my real name, whatever. So I want to talk to you today guys, about two things. So let's see, this is either going to be one long video or it's going to be a two-part video. But either which way, it'll be nice. So right now we're leaving my job up in upstate New York, and I'm actually headed down to my boy's shop, still in upstate New York. I work at one Volkswagen and Audi dealer. He works at another Volkswagen dealer. And it's been a minute since I've, got the chance to speak to him and stuff. And we're supposed to go check out his S4 today, but I'm not sure if that's gonna happen because it's actually pouring raining right now. I want to show you guys, but first let me get away from my dealership so I don't have no issues with them and showing off. But like, yeah, like it's, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's like pouring raining. So I wouldn't say pouring, it's starting to come down harder than it was before. Before it was a drizzle, now it's a little bit harder. But yeah, and I hope you guys can hear me clearly between the exhaust and the rain and stuff. And I got my back windows cracked. I just like fresh air. But I'm all good. Yeah, I want to talk about, we're supposed to go pick up his S4, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen with all this rain. And number two, I really want to talk about big brake kits and their importance in them. Because I have a big brake kit on my car, not no like crazy 4-piston, 6-piston, 8-piston Brembo or Willwood or whatever setup comes out now with like R1 concepts and all that. Like, I don't have that, but I do have a bigger set of brakes on my car than what came factory with this car. And there's a misconception about, from what I'm hearing, there's a misconception about big brakes. So I'm here to break it down. So the main point of this conversation is, a lot of people have been asking me, because if you guys have been, I'm hoping if you're subscribed, you're watching the videos, but a lot of people have been asking me, Chris, Dread, why did you go and put bigger brakes on your car? Like, you're not tuned, your car isn't making a whole lot of power. Did you really need bigger brakes? Like, it's a waste of money. And it's not. Big brakes is never a waste of money unless you don't know why you need big brakes. If you're just daily driving your car, then yeah, you don't need big brakes. If you don't drive your car hard, you do not need big brakes. If you're not tracking, dragging, autocrossing, rallying, if you're not a spirited driver, you don't really need to do much to upgrade your brakes, because in that case, it's pointless, because you're not getting the full use of your brake system except for during ordinary braking conditions. Hold on, guys, hold on. Yeah, like, if you're not a driver, a real driver, bad man driving, then yeah, you don't need big brakes. But he's a bad man. He's a wicked brother. This car does danger in this vehicle. Like, not for all of you that are like, oh, it's a Volkswagen, and I don't give a flip what it was. When I have my BMW, I had big brakes. When I have my bikes, I upgrade my brakes. Like, there's not a vehicle alive that I have owned that, all right, I don't like upgrade the brakes. I want to live. I've been driving for some years. I've learned what I can do. I've learned what my car can do. My cars need bigger brakes, especially if I'm the one driving them. If I'm the one maneuvering and piloting them, they need bigger brakes. Factory brakes ain't cutting it unless the car comes stock with some Brembos, and this car didn't. So bigger brakes have came. So we just know that. You understand what I'm saying? And for all of y'all that have car and want to do spirited driving and don't think you need to upgrade your brake system, because it's not always just bigger brakes you need. There are other little minor things you can do. If you haven't done anything to upgrade your brakes, but you think say you's a driver, you're also a crash dummy. Mark my words. If you think say you're bad and you ain't touch your brakes and your suspension, but remember this video is about brakes, but if you ain't touch your brakes and your suspension and you think you's a bad man driving, you're gonna be a crash dummy dead. Mark my words. And I'm not wishing nothing on nobody. I hope all you are safe. That's the point of this video, is to tell you, hey, before you start trying to do 100-mile-an-hour brake tests, like, oh yeah, I'm fast, and then go step on your brakes and hydroplane or overheat your joints, and then you slide in for the next 2-3 days to heaven or hell, depending on what your religious preferences is. Go and do something with your brakes. Like, do something with your brakes. Now, like in one of the previous videos, I said that what I did is I upgraded to a factory bigger brake setup. So my brakes still come from Volkswagen. They just come off of a different Volkswagen. What I have equipped I have a 2014 GLI that came with a single piston. My front brakes were single piston and the rotors were 312 by 20 something, I think. And I've been working at Volkswagen, not just the current one, but just on and at Volkswagen for some years now, as well as working on Audis for some years now. And what I've learned is that this MK6 body style, which is 2012 up until like 2018 or 2019, the brakes suck. Like Volkswagen, y'all did a pretty good job of making brakes for this car, but the stock brakes suck for some real spirited driving. They work well on the GTI because it's the same brakes that are on the GTI, but on the GLI, which is longer and heavier, when you start driving this car spiritedly, or whatever the proper term is, when you drive this vehicle hard and you go and try and lock up them front brakes, it's not a nice outcome. Like, it really isn't. It's dangerous. Now, if you're driving normal, then it's different. Like, all right, they're good for factory. I don't even mean factory, but just like regular speed limit. Like the best you can do in this car and slow down, maybe like 70, 80. But I wouldn't do anything above 80, above 100, and then go to lock up my front brakes. Like, car crashing. I'm telling you. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Now, maybe some of you guys are really skilled drivers and y'all know how to do all that. I'm skilled too. I don't like the feeling. I like to be able to trust my brakes. I like to just step down and watch the car stop with no problem. So I did that. Now my current brake setup in the front of my car, like I said, it was a 312 by I think like 28 or 25. I switched over to, I'm currently a single piston again, but it's a bigger single piston off of a Golf R GTI Performance Pack, Audi S3, you know. It's single piston, but now my front rotor is a 340 millimeter by 30. Yeah, it's 340 by 30 if I remember correctly. Now, for all you guys that don't understand the metric system, let me put it like this. Originally, my front rotors were 13 inches, 13.1 or 13.2. They're now 14.2. That's an inch difference. That inch gives me more brake surface area. That means there is a bigger surface for the brake pads on my car to grab and slow me down. That's important. That's stopping power right there. Well, take that back. That's not stopping power, because stopping power would mean I would have got, you know, a bigger piston, which I did. I got a brake with a bigger piston. The piston on the front brake caliper is a lot bigger now. You know, but that's better stopping when you have a bigger surface area and a bigger piston or multiple pistons. Like, you get better braking. Now, some of you guys just go for bigger calipers. We have like dual pistons, quad pistons, 6 piston, and that's great too, but it all depends on your application. For my spirited driving on a daily driving car, I personally, I'm not ready for a 4-piston setup yet. I'm looking into it because I'm starting to believe that I'm outrunning well, I don't think I'm outrunning it yet, but I know that eventually I will outrun the use of my current brake setup, and I have to go bigger. So I'm planning on it. I'm considering it. I'm piecing together what I want to do. But for what I've been doing currently, for the little, you know, spirited driving, quick little hot laps and stuff like that, like these Golf R brakes work really well. Like Volkswagen, you did your job with the Golf R joints. Like they work very well, especially considering that the brakes off the Golf R, the S3, and the GTR were meant to stop a higher horsepower. I don't think it's heavier, might be slightly heavier, all-wheel drive vehicle with a bigger turbo. So if it can stop a car with a bigger turbo that's all-wheel drive and faster than my car, I think it can damn sure stop my car. Hence why they're on discount. Yeah, I keep hearing this noise like one of my tires is flat. I'm gonna have to check that out later because today it's raining. So yeah, everybody just pray for me and like pray that I don't get no like flat tire while driving from upstate New York, because it's not gonna be. You know what? When I get to my boy's shop, I'll check it out. Like I'll bring it in and have him check like all 4 tires for me and just correct the air pressure or plug them, do whatever needs to be done. Because it definitely feels like I'm driving on like, feels like my right front tire is flat, and that's not good, especially with all this rain. But yeah, like guys, you guys need to look into, if not getting a bigger brake kit like I did, which is just upgrading from to a bigger rotor size and bigger piston size, or upgrading to a Brembo, or I can't remember the name of another company right now, but like Brembo, K-Sport, like there are companies out there, I just can't remember their names right now. But like if you don't do that, then just upgrade simple braking components. Use a different brake pad with a different compound. Go from go to a semi-metallic compound, you know, like there's options. And so many things affect your braking on the car, like, and I'm just talking about brake components. Like I'm not even going to get into tires and suspension. I'm just going to stick to brakes right now. Like there are a lot of things that go into stopping your vehicle. And also too, don't just upgrade your fronts, like upgrade the rears. Like what you do to the front of the car, you should do to the back of the car, especially when it comes to braking components. Like for me currently, I only have the front brake setup upgraded because, you know, I called a deal on the front brake setup. Shout out to my boy Ghost. And you know, he gave me his calipers and pads and rotors, you know, and they worked perfectly. So shout out to Ghost, my boy Ghost. Hopefully I can do an interview on your car one of these days. But you know, he had a kit for me, and I got it from him, and I threw it on the car. And I'm actually looking into doing the rear brake setup before I even upgrade the front any bigger. Like I want to do R32 / you know, GTI Performance Pack rears that'll go from, I think in the rear right now I'm at 268, and if I upgrade I'll go to 310. Like that's a big difference. That's a huge difference. And that's all just surface area, like brake surface area, and that's what I want. But like I said, you can go into a different compound on your brake pads, you know. If you don't want to just do brake pads, like yo, get a slotted rotor, get a ventilated rotor. That's really important. Dissipating heat, like brakes work because of friction. You create friction and it stops your car, but friction also creates heat. Like when you put two things to rub together simultaneously, they create heat. And what happens is that heat creates a gas that kind of spaces your brake pads away from your rotors. So instead of grabbing the rotor, it's grabbing this dangerous gas, which means you're not stopping. That's not good. That's really bad. I want to stop. I like stop. That's why I don't like planes, because planes don't stop. They fall, but that's a whole nother conversation. Like I want to be able to stop. So look into a rotor that can dissipate heat, and that's what ventilated and slotted and dipped and all those other fancy term rotors are for. They're supposed to dissipate heat. Two-piece rotors, they dissipate heat. So if you're not looking for a bigger surface area, or you're not looking for bigger pistons on your caliper, you should be looking for a way to get rid of the heat you should be looking for a way to get rid of the heat that you're creating when you step on your brakes really hard. Like, you got to look into stuff like that. Next up, brake pressure. A lot of people overlook this, but brake pressure is important. If you have stock brake lines, upgrade to better brake lines, stainless steel. I didn't have to do that because, to be honest, the Golf R brake lines are actually better. The Mark 7 Golf R brake lines are better than the Mark 6 GTI and GLI brake lines, so I figured that was good enough. But I am also looking at stainless steel lines, and look into it. It works. It's consistent, constant, great braking, and it's less likely to get a bubble, because brake lines get a bubble in them like how tires get a bubble, and that's not safe. That's horrible. That means it's going to burst. Stainless steel brake lines don't get bubbles, or it's less likely that they will get bubbles. Like, I personally have never seen a stainless steel brake line with a bubble. I've seen a lot of rubber brake lines with bubbles. I don't like it. It's not safe. Like, I've never seen a stainless steel brake line with a bubble. So for me, and like I said, it's better brake pressure. Look into that for all you guys that, hey, I don't want to do bigger calipers, I don't want a bigger rotor. Just upgrade the stock joints. Next up, master cylinders. Once again, brake pressure. Look for a better master cylinder. Like, I know for my car, I can upgrade to, once again, Golf R or R32 S3 master cylinders. A lot of people overlook, like, braking components are so important. And without just how good it is to be able to brake, like, just think about it like this way. If you can brake harder, that means you can go faster. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to cut out as soon. So for all my drag boys, because I know all you guys like to do is drive in a straight line, which, I mean, to each their own. But for my drag strip boys, how can you get your car to the quarter mile as fast as possible if you have to brake early because you can't afford to brake last minute? Like, that's the difference between you doing 120 in the quarter mile and doing, let's say, 138 in the quarter mile. Or better yet, let's do it time-wise. If instead of having to slow down at 10 seconds, you can slow down at instead of having to slow down at 9 seconds so that you can safely stop, you get to slow down at 10, 11 seconds. That means you can really push that car. For my autocross boys and my rally boys, guys like me that like to actually see what the entire car can do, not just the engine. Like, imagine being able to go through a corner or attack a corner at a higher speed than at a slower speed. That means you're exiting that corner faster. You're making up seconds on the track. So it's not just braking. It also allows you to actually drive the car faster and harder. Like, those are the things you guys got to look into. Because it works. It really does. Like, with all of my cars, like, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but even back when I had my E46, like, I don't care what car you had. You could have had a 340, 335 M3. If you were scared to touch your brakes, well, not scared to touch your brakes. Another phone call. Hold on. Yo, sorry about that, YouTube fam. Apparently I'm popular. I got my cousin calling me, my best friend calling me, the homeboy I'm going to check out right now. Like, everybody calling my phone. So I don't even remember where we left off at. But yeah, just like upgrade your brake components, because the more you can stop, the faster you can go. Like, just think about it like that. Like, that's just the concept. If all you're worried about is how fast you can go, think about it like this. You can't go nowhere fast if you can't stop. Like, that just doesn't add up. You have to have a good foundation to go fast. And brakes is like one of the top priorities in that foundation. Like, forget, oh yeah, I'm gonna put bigger turbo, or I'm gonna do XYZ pulleys and I'm gonna get a tune. Like, whatever you're trying to do is exceeding what the car was meant to stop. Like, so put it like this. Like, my car makes 210 horsepower. I'm pretty sure I told you guys that in one of the last videos, right? 200 to 215 horsepower, something like that, right? It's 155 kilowatts. Which means the brakes are meant to stop that amount of horsepower. So if I go now, tune my car, check my car, downpipe, big turbo, all that, let's just say wild number. Let's say I make 500 to the wheel. The brakes are not going to stop, because they are not meant to stop a car with that much power. Hence me crashing. Me no want crash. Me no like crash. Pretty car. Handsome young man. yo, this face no need no cuts in it, boss. So brakes first, power later. And if nobody has told you guys that, allow this dumb dreadhead to let y'all know. Like, brakes, being able to stop is more important than being able to go. And for all of my boys that have standard gearbox cars that like to engine brake, that only works for so long. Like, locking up your trans or your engine by downshifting isn't good enough. Like, I know some utes that have crashed off of dumb shit like that. It doesn't work. It can work, but it doesn't work as well as just actually stopping with brakes, because engine braking was not designed to slow the car down as much as you guys think, whereas brakes are meant to slow the car down exactly as you think. I'm pulling up to my boy's shop. I want him to check this out real quick. Hopefully I don't get him in no problems. Shh. Alright, YouTube family, we are back. I just finished. Hold on, copyright. Oh, there we go. I gotta say that before the music fully catches. If not, they're gonna take away the videos. But yeah, guys, I'm finally back. We just finished checking out my boy Khalil. We're definitely not picking up the S4 today or checking it out. S4 is not ready. But luckily, like if you heard me say earlier in the video, it felt like one of my tires was low on air. It's actually my left front tire, not my right front. Well, my right front tire was low too, but not nearly as my left front tire. And I was able to see that I do need 2 new front tires, because this summer I have been whiling with these summer tires, because I really just genuinely like the feeling of them, and I've just been spinning and launching and everything because they get so much grip. Like, when he showed me how bald they were, I couldn't even believe that they were bald, because even though I'm a mechanic, it's like I don't get to often get the chance to look at my car because I'm fixing, y'all car, or I'm doing something at the job. So when I do get a chance to look at my car, I usually see something surprising. I'm like, damn, I should be doing better. But later on. But yeah, now along with you guys getting, the little brake information, now you got to do your tires. So I'm gonna do mine. My boy Khalil and his brother are actually gonna find a set of tires for me to put on the front, which is perfect. And and it's funny, we talking about big brakes in this video, and both of them are considering doing bigger brake upgrades on their car. Khalil's brother Dechante has a Mark 7 GTI IS38 swap. He needs bigger brakes. And Khalil has, I call him Khalil, that's not his real name, but I'm gonna keep calling him Khalil because I think it sounds easy to say. Khalil has an S4 and he's about to do a bigger brake setup. Like, I'm telling you guys, like, bigger brakes are they're what you need. If you do not have a big brake setup or a bigger brake setup or just some kind of brake upgrade, you cannot really call yourself a driver, because it's like, and mind you, when I say driver, I mean someone that like is in the car life like how we are, because it's not safe. And how can you claim to be a part of this life if you're not willing to put in the work to be able to do it long term? And that's what that comes down to. Like, yeah, all right, cool, you're a car guy, you got a big turbo, you got a big supercharger, you tuned all this other stuff, and then you go and crash your car because you can't stop. You want to be able to when you like something, you want to be able to do it as often as possible. And by having a bigger brake setup or just having some kind of brake upgrade, it allows you to enjoy more of this lifestyle. Hold on. I want to see if this motherfucker pulls up. Hold up. Watch this. Is he pulling up? He's pulling up. Yo, they're right there in his loaner, because, like I said, the S4 is down. So Khalil is in his loaner. I'm about to chase this dude on the highway because I don't know why he's in my corner glass. Watch this. Watch. Should I chase him, or should I leave it alone? I'm gonna leave it alone, because if I chase him, it's gonna be an all-out war on the highway. So we're just gonna record him pulling away as I go the other way. Bye, my friend. It's been a long time without you, my friend. That little noise you heard is probably why I need new tires, because I just launch this thing constantly, or I just step all the way down and it just spins depending on the scenario. Like right now, like I said, it was raining earlier, so the floor is wet. So by stepping down to do a full press, the tire spins. So it is what it is. But yeah, guys, like I think I've talked your ear off enough about the brake setup and you know the importance of brakes. But I think it's, like I said, I think it's just really important, and I can't stress out, like, between safety and the amount of speed you can do now. Like, it just makes sense. Like, there's no excuse to not upgrade your brakes unless your car already comes with bigger brakes, like, you know, 335, like M package 335s, 340s, M340s, M3s. Any real sports car, they usually come with a big setup already. So all you really have to do is just upgrade pads, rotors, and lines. But if you don't have a big setup, then you can upgrade to a bigger setup. So like I said, I don't want to talk too much about that. I think I've talked you guys ear off enough about that. And unfortunately, I was hoping to do like 2 parts with this and, you know, show you guys the Khalil's S4, but it's still down for maintenance right now. So we're gonna have to wait until another time to check it out. And it is what it is. Hopefully we do another video, or we find something else to talk about. Maybe the next video I'll talk about the importance of like suspension or tires or something. Oh, update. I was supposed to do a ride along with you guys. I'm still trying to find, I don't want to say I'm trying to find a model, but I'm still trying to find someone to do the ride along with, to see, you know, to start our Is It Fast series, our Is It Fast ride along series. So if you guys know anybody that likes cars, is into cars, or is new to cars, and would be interested in doing a ride along with me and my MK6, let me know. You guys can send me some recommendations, and I'll thoroughly, I don't remember what the word is, but I'll just thoroughly review them and do my background checks. I'll thoroughly vent them to see if they're worth having on the channel, or if they're just cloud chasing. But I doubt they're cloud chasing, because this is like a brand new channel, so you're not gonna get no whole heap of followers by trying to cloud chase on my Island Autoworks channel. Like, this ain't the channel for that. You better go hit up TJ Hunt or Adam LZ that got like thousands and millions of followers. You might get 2 followers off of the IA page. Shit, I might get more followers off of having you on my page than you coming onto my page and getting followers. So, but yeah, like, just let us know. Right now, I'm gonna say peace to you guys. I actually gotta go get my boy Vic. Something happened to his car, so we're gonna go check and make sure he's all right. And I'll holler at y'all later, man. Thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure to keep up with your maintenance. Make sure to keep up with your brakes, especially if you're going fast. I love you guys. I appreciate you. See you later.